The following is a fictional role play. All names, places, and events are fabricated.
So I'll start off and I'll be the social worker. So hi Barbie, how are you today?
I'm doing okay.
So let's talk more about that. So today I'm going to use a tool called the PHQ-9, and this tool is used to assess how you're feeling. So I'm going to go through a list of questions, and the questions are pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to ask questions if you need any clarification, okay?
Okay.
So, in the past 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by any of the following? Have you had little interest or pleasure in doing things?
Not really. I've kind of just sat at home and had a hard time getting out of bed.
Okay. So how many days do you think?
Probably between 4 to 7 days. I missed this week of work, so I had to take off because I couldn't get myself out of bed.
Okay. So, how many days have you felt down, depressed, or hopeless?
Pretty much all of those days that I was home. It's only gotten worse though.
So over the last 2 weeks, how many days would you say?
Probably 7 to 10. I think I've only had a couple of days that were decent.
Okay. So, any trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Or do you feel like you sleep much?
Well, yeah. When normally I go to sleep at like 10 or 11 o'clock, and I'd get up at 6 to go to work. But recently, I've just been tossing and turning and not being able to fall asleep. And then the next thing I know, my alarm's going off at 6. And so then I just lay there, and I haven't gone to work in over a week, and so it's just been one of those things where I'm not sleeping when I'm supposed to be sleeping, but when I've been at home during the day, I've been able to kind of nap, I guess. But it's mostly me just laying in bed.
So trouble falling asleep and sleeping too much, would you say?
A little bit of both. Not sleeping at the appropriate times, I guess you could say.
So as far as how many days have you felt tired or having little energy?
Every day. Every day for the past month.
Okay. So has it been pretty frequent over the last 2 weeks?
Definitely. And I feel like every day I just have less and less energy and motivation to even get out of bed.
Okay. So what about poor appetite or overeating?
Oh man, it's definitely the overeating. When I do manage to get myself up out of bed, I really I can't even control it. I'll pile up the snacks and take them back to the bed and just sit there and eat.
Okay. So what about feeling bad about yourself or feeling that you're a failure or you have let yourself or your family down?
It's kind of one of those things that, I don't know, it's just, I feel down all the time and I feel like I'm disappointing everyone. So
would you say, like over the past 2 weeks, several days, more than half the days, nearly every day?
most days, yeah.
What about trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching television?
Not really. I mean, I'll mindlessly watch television just to get my mind off of things, but I don't really have that much trouble concentrating, I guess.
Okay. So no problems concentrating anywhere else? Any other?
Well, for a while I had trouble when I was at work, completing my tasks and things. I just didn't have any motivation for it. And so then that kind of went full circle. And when I was laying in bed in the morning, I just was like, I don't have any reason why I need to be at work today because I'm not going to get anything done. So I might as well stay home.
Okay. So what about moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed? Or being fidgety or restless?
I used to be a fast talker. My parents and all my friends said that, I'd talk a mile a minute, but I feel kind of like I've just been kind of dragging and slower than normal, I guess.
Okay. So what about thoughts that you would be better off dead or hurting yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had those thoughts. It's kind of hard because I don't know. It's one of those things that it's hard to talk about, I guess.
So how difficult have these problems made it for you to do your work or take care of things at home or get along with other people?
Well, it's definitely put a damper on all of that. I mean, my house is a mess and I can barely find motivation to shower and get myself ready, and it's ridiculous. I feel like all I do is eat and sleep.
Okay. So have you ever thought about or attempted to kill yourself?
Well, yeah, when I was a teenager, I tried, but mostly now it's just the hopelessness. I mean, I feel like nobody would miss me if I was gone, but I haven't tried anything recently.
Okay. Okay. So have you thought about killing yourself in the past year?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I haven't necessarily acted on it. It's it's one of those things where like I would be driving somewhere and think about, what if I just swerved a little and hit the median, or, you know, nobody would miss me.
So how likely is it that you will attempt suicide one day?
Um, Not very likely. I mean, when I was younger, I tried, but unsuccessfully, obviously. It's just one of those things that I don't even have the motivation to do that to myself. I don't have the energy. Um, I don't know.
So do you feel like you have any tools or opportunities available to commit suicide?
Um, Not really. I mean, I don't have access to anything that, would make it easy for me to kill myself. So, I mean, I've barely left the house, so honestly, I don't know. It's not like I have pills or weapons or, I don't have the tools to do it. So, and I don't even have the motivation to get out of bed, so I don't think I would even be able to attempt it. But the thoughts are there.
So what I want to do is I want to follow up with you very soon and try to gather some resources for you, and hopefully we can work through this. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.